SGC here, and we are back for first impression. Oh my goodness, Crash Landing on You, folks. Or Love's Emergency Landing. So this is a South Korean drama directed by Lee Jung-hyo and starring everyone down below. And it's about a South Korean woman who accidentally crash lands in North Korea. It aired on TVN, and apparently on TVN's ratings, it is currently standing at the third highest rating of TVN's Korean dramas. And it's below Sky Castle and also Married Something, which I will check out because it is a BBC remake of Dr. Foster, The Married Something. I forgot the name off the top of my head. And also probably Sky Castle, because I mean the last thing I watched was Mr. Sunshine, and that's I think it's on the list for like number 16 or 17 or so. But anyways, let's get back to this. So the reason I'm even watching this is because I hear about it and it's on Netflix, and also it is done by Studio Dragon, so that's a prop because I really enjoy Stranger with them, and we'll check this out. Yeah, as a first episode, okay, I have to get this out of the way, but basically I feel like a lot of Korean dramas look alike. How it's shot, the cinematography, pacing, the overall acting. Granted, you know, I don't watch too much, but I feel like every time I do watch something, it feels very similar. But with that said, you know, not having that mindset, I think that's what I have to do to watch the rest of the season. If I do, of 16 episodes, I watched the first one. Yeah, if I can like forget about that, maybe I'll like it more, probably. But I did laugh out loud for one scene where he stepped on a landmine, so that was interesting. So yeah, it is interesting that I read up a little bit after the first episode about the whole North and South Korean aspect of things. I do note that it is a glamorizing of sorts of North Korean culture lifestyle. And I do wonder where they're going to draw the line. Granted, I read that there are North Korean defectors who work on the show as writers and as extras who appreciate the authenticity of how they portray the North Korean sort of life, which is great because I feel like politically that you know, from the Koreans that I have spoken to, that they do consider their North Korean brothers rather than like, oh my god, they are the enemy. But it is interesting to note that one of the characters was in a Christian prayer group, and then when I read online that one of the Christian groups actually made a complaint to the studio saying that you are talking about North and South relations and it's against some sort of like bylaw or whatever. But that's interesting, which makes it hilarious because, you know, Christian doesn't mean you're great. So there's that. So anyways, going back to the actual drama, it took a long time. It's an hour-long first episode, and it took its sweet time of establishing our everyone hates main character and her rich family, and then finally she gets dropped into North Korea, and then there's this mix-up, and we get to know our main lead about how he thinks everyone should be punished when they break rules, so we get that going on, and then how it ends is just like, wow, you just went against everything you talked about in the first episode about your character. So interesting, and we go on. So one thing that I find now that I watched Mr. Sunshine, something that came from South Korea now to Netflix, that's the reason why I even watched it, was that it took an hour just to establish a lot of things that just could have been done or should have been done in a lot shorter time, because it establishes all the characters. I mean, this one is a lot better because it's sort of, you see a bit of their personality in the very beginning when you first meet them, and they slowly change over time already because of circumstances, and I think that's appreciated. And I do wonder where the second episode's gonna go. I can totally imagine it being like a whole you know, posse and their like group of like all these stereotypical, oh, he's a comic relief and all that, and he's gonna be the hard ass that they should send her back to South Korea or throw her to the dogs type of thing. Like, I totally expect that. So if it isn't that, I'm gonna be excited to how they're gonna deal with this whole romance life thing where she's in North Korea and she meets all these lovely North Koreans. Totally gonna see that coming. So yeah, so it humbles her. I realized I also really hate rich people being humbled storylines, so that's why I was very like, the first 15 minutes of this thing was just like, freaking rich people. And yeah, so even during the time of the rest of the episode, you get to know more about his squad. Granted, cinematically, I don't really care for it. It's really just nothing there to say. The editing is just kind of like wonk. A lot of cover shots, just like back and forth dialogues as well, and that's always a bummer for me. I hate cover shots. But just like we get to learn about the squad, so that's kind of nice, and you get more of a personality. So it makes me wonder now that these people are gonna be away from the border and living their lives, I guess. I don't know. He's supposed to be a rich elite as well in North Korea, so that's gonna be, I guess it's more like, hey, he's a rich guy, I'm a rich woman, he's humbled, I should be too, because maybe I'm falling for him. I expect that storyline. If it isn't, that's great. I always love a curveball of a narrative of just things being explored. But yeah, I talked too much already. It is the first episode. There's 15 more to go. Will I watch the next one? I don't know, but I will definitely watch that other show that's, being rated as number 2 right now for Korean TV. So anyways, that's it. Keep liking, keep watching, and subscribe and share, because sharing is caring. And remember to keep safe and stay healthy, folks. That's it for this first impression of Crash Landing on You, Season 1, Episode 1.